The world of WNBA hasn't been the same since Caitlyn Clark came aboard. I mean, who doesn't know the single lady that airlifted the WNBA to more fame? Well, as most notable people, despite her remarkable works, Caitlyn Clark has been met with some stiff opposition from bullies.
Lightning quick. And talk about the...
Let's dive in. Caitlyn must have trained quite hard for her match against the Connecticut Sun. However, on getting to the court, she must not have expected what Carrington had in wait for her.
A collapse leads to open three opportunities.
Clark nudged by Carrington.
After a successful dribble by Clark, she wanted to shot a nice one into the hoop, but unfortunately, Carrington's elbow was in the way.
Several games of the WNBA forcing 10 turnovers. Right there you see DJ.
Well, rather than obey the official's whistle, Carrington rather believed Clark was acting a script. Isn't that rather absurd belief as we all saw her elbow on Clark's head?
Get her with the hip.
Clark's first trip to the line. Top 10 in the league in free throws made and attempted.
Having suffered a foul from unfair defense, what better way of showing your bully who is really the boss than shooting it into where it matters? Good job, Clark. Playing against Chicago Sky is similar to playing against any other WNBA team. However, despite the different team Clark encounters, it seems everyone is looking at the same playbook of how to injure her. I mean, over here, we could see how two players immediately attacked her the moment she touched the ball.
And talk about the physicality. Dana Evans wrapping up Clark. Yeah, I mean, this is a foul for sure.
Is this still basketball? Or are the ladies in a boxing ring without telling us? Well, whichever it is, thanks that the referee saw that.
Trying to find some space. Goes for...
Well, I guess the real reason why everyone was attacking her was because of how skillful a player she was. I mean, just a minute after being fouled, she sent the ball down the hoop. Go, Clark! Imagine how you would feel if your mentor fails to recognize you. No, your mentor knows you exist and adore him or her, but every time your mentor gets an opportunity to talk about you, you are treated as trash. I guess that hurts pretty bad. Well, that exactly was the position of Caitlyn Clark, who adored Diana Taurasi, but Diana didn't reciprocate.
Probably one of the first women's basketball players I really grew up idolizing.
Looking at Clark, we can indeed see the genuine respect she had for her mentor from afar. Well, whether Diana feels same way is another topic.
Second page. Next question.
So you've had the #1 pick this year. You would take Paige over Caitlyn.
As a legend in WNBA, when Diana was asked who she'd pick, her choice shocked even the TV host. We mean, isn't it expected to pick one's mentee when a situation like NBA draft arises?
Down in my seat, all the way down there, I looked in every single corner of the footprint center to just make sure that somebody was sitting.
Well, as fate might have it, Clark had an opportunity to go against her mentor who doesn't seem to like her. How do you think that turned out? Tell us in comments.
From above the break, here's Clark, still trying to find her rhythm, a deep pull.
However, with a shot like that, Diana realized that trash-talking Caitlyn all these while on a national television was not necessary.
Clark, oh, she dropped out.
Well, if Diana was still in doubt of Caitlyn's great abilities, once Caitlyn broke the ankles of Diana's teammate, we knew for certain that Diana will retract her statement against Caitlyn.
In her short career so far has just been nothing short of remarkable.
And during Diana's post-game press release, she had this nice words to say about Caitlyn. She has indeed been humbled. Basketball is a game of fun, right? Or so we all thought. But what happens when a player always looks for opportunity to ridicule an opponent? That doesn't promote health sportsmanship, right? Take a look.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
So obviously, Angel Reese got engaged not long ago, and the only way she thought of celebrating that was rubbing her engagement on Caitlyn's face. That's anything but professional conduct. Well, Caitlyn knew that Angel wanted to use that medium to distract her from her game, and guess what? Caitlyn ignored her. We know that one of the most effective way of making bullies feel useless is by paying them no attention, and Caitlyn did just that. Kudos, Caitlyn. It is in the last few seconds of a game that tension is usually over the roof for both teams. So, today wasn't any different as Caitlyn with the ball did what she knew how to do best.
On one, Sammy Whitcomb with 8 seconds left. Goes around to Gumake, drives baseline, and shot!
Well, as a skillful player, Caitlyn made some successful dribbles. And while she was about to put the ball where it rightfully belonged, she received an elbow to her head. Why exactly didn't the referee call that foul that was very clear to everyone? Did Caitlyn commit any offense we don't know of that everyone seems out to get her?
Second opportunity is up and in.
Thankfully, just before Caitlyn fell, she made an assist, which her teammate absolutely converted. Talk of seeing an opportunity in bad situations, and Caitlyn is your go-to.
And all of a sudden, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long, 44-2.
And just in case the ref didn't see that, here it is in a slower motion. Well, despite the challenge, the Fever still went home with points just 3 seconds before halftime. Whenever the Seattle Storms clash with the Fevers, we know what to expect. I mean, it is literally a tough clash of titans, one which any team can easily convert an opportunity. Thus, everyone on the court should be on their best of behaviors.
Gumake going right at Boston. The push shot falls. Higgins-Smith trying to push the pace, gets inside. It's an offensive foul. Turnover, good outlet pass Boston. Can Mitchell track it down? She can.
Truly a tough game that was, with both teams going at each other's neck. At this point, it might be hard to predict who will win the game. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Alyssa Smith running the floor. Continuing to generate good looks. Lloyd just pushes over Caitlyn Clark and knocks.
And just when we thought that both teams were playing professionally, Caitlyn was fouled. Isn't that a clear foul? Why then is the referee not calling it? Is it because it happened to Caitlyn?
Clark over Horston, hits a three!
Well, another foul was committed against Caitlyn, but we guess since she shot it through the hoop, the referee didn't think it necessary to call that. Well, regardless, it was still a foul on her.
We might need to update the graphic now. Curricular, as Clark's knocked down a couple.
Indeed, there is only so much a person can take before they give it right back to their bully. Well, Clark has gotten to that breaking point, and for the first time in a while now, she became physically confrontational. Well, thanks to her teammate and the referee who held her down, but that defender had it coming, and Clark just had to say a bit of her mind. Good one, Clark. Whenever Chicago Sky and the Fever meet, we all look forward to an intense battle between two of the top players in WNBA, Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark. However, it looks like so much hatred has been brought to the game instead of pure, healthy competition that fans of both teams look forward to. Take a look.
Kicking it out, Evans fakes the three, takes the two, and knocks it down.
At first, it would be hard to notice any foul as it appeared Reese was merely trying to ensure her teammates scored. But on a closer look, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Out of contact from Reese on Clark underneath, no whistle. Now, not a flagrant foul, penalty one, which it probably should have been upon review, at least by our account. This, you could have gotten Reese for a personal, but you can also see that being a no call. Good no call? 50-50?
50-50.
From this angle, we can see it a little more slower how Reese targeted Clark's head with her elbow. This was a clear foul, one which the referee should have called.
Honestly, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the handshake line and shake hands and, be grateful that my team was in that position. That's all you can do.
Well, when asked her thought about that ruthless contact, she had this to say. Truly, a true sportsman who ignores bullies trying to get to her. At this point, we can all see that there must be a deliberate attempt by the Chicago Sky against one of the priciest possessions of Fever Clark. If not so, then why this unprovoked attack on Clark by Kennedy Carter? Take a look.
Is good. Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench.
Was there a reason for the hip check by Carter? We mean, Clark wasn't even holding the ball yet. Carter felt the need to attack her. That is a clear, flagrant foul too.
I think that's going to be a flagrant one, and Clark goes to the line and hits the first. They called it away from the ball foul.
Well, since it was just called a common foul, Clark takes the free throw. That should serve as deterrent to Carter, but regardless, the foul should be reviewed and upgraded as expected. Often it seems there is a playbook used by all players in WNBA. The playbook will stipulate that anytime Caitlyn is given the ball, she should not be allowed to have a clear shot at the hoop. Take a look.
And in for Clark. And draws the foul, 1.6. She goes sprawling. She went sprawling into her own bench.
And it looks like that was whistled intentional without even reviewing it, even though they will be taking a look. Here's Caitlyn Clark going, and Nicholson giving her an extra curricular two-hand shove.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Georgia.
So, in order to block or deflect a shot, the best this defender could do was push Caitlyn to the bench. That's totally uncalled for. Well, luckily, it got the attention of the referee who called it.
For this Georgia ball club.
Very rough fouls at the end. Clark will bury it.
Well, there is no better way of sticking it at the face of your opponent than scoring a free throw awarded. Nice one, Clark. Having a Caitlyn Clark is a plus for any team. Well, except for her opponents. Which was why, while in attempting to block a shot, her opponent rammed into her. This is a deliberate act, as the opponent could have dribbled instead, but she must have hatched other plans. Take a look.
Off by Miller. Miller tries to sidestep Clark. Offensive foul. And Clark is slow to get to her feet.
We've seen Caitlyn Clark hit the floor, but never.
That was a hard fall to the court. We hope she didn't suffer any major injury that might demand a stretcher.
Crash to the ground. Here's Caitlyn Clark early on, getting down, no going the other way.
Well, after the injury, this JS the kind of Clark no team hopes to meet. We mean the kind of Clark that will revenge for any wrong done to her by scoring more through the hoops.
Hawkeyes. And then a little handoff action, getting to the mid-range, as I said, after an offensive rebound, Maryland.
And yet another one. Just maybe if her opponent apologizes, she might take it a bit easy on them. Well, if you got to the end of the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like, share, and turn on the post notification button so you don't miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.